Hi, it's Grandma from Grandma's Footsteps, and today we're going to do our 6th and probably final page. So, we'll bring in our book. Here we are. And this is the page that we created last time, or the pages that we created last time. And now we start off working on the small page. Now, this is a fairly simple page. I have done a lovely background paper here in this gingham, but I did attach it to white 250 GSM card. The reason for that is because I wanted to turn it into a pocket as well as having it as a background. So all I've done is I've attached it to the 250 GSM card, and I've glued it on all 3 sides to our little page here, and that gives us a space to put in a tab later on. Now, I've taken another piece of card here, and I've cut the shape out yet again, and I've cut it diagonally across there, so that gives us a lovely corner and a tuck spot. Okay, and I've decorated this with these beautiful baby shoes. Now, this is a die from Joanna Sheen, I believe. Here it is. Very simple, and it has here attached at the top the 2 dies for the buckles and the bow. So firstly we cut this from white 250 GSM cardstock, and then we cut it from this rather pretty patterned paper. And what I did was, because these centre parts here, the white on here, cut out, we kept them to one side, and we glued the patterned piece of paper to the 250 white, and then we paper pieced the white back inside after we glued them onto the background here. The beauty of doing this is it actually gives it some depth, and it looks as if it goes down into the shoe. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. And the buckles we just cut out of some silver card, and the little bow just plain pink, the same pink as is here on the background. And we glued them together, and that's how we decorated our little tuck space here. I will make the tag to go in this here and in here when I do the others, which will probably be the next video when I'm intending to do embellishments and extras. So we'll have a look at that later. Well, next time. Okay, now the back of this page is still blank, so we'll push that over there, and I'll bring in this. Now this is what I've made for this page here. I've got a really pretty background paper on there, and I've taken the Legacy dies here, this one that we've used before, and it cuts out either side as well, which you fold up to make a small sort of memory book. But what I've done is I've cut the 2 sides off. I've cut off these smaller flaps, with the exception of a little bit which I used as a hinge, and I'll show you how I've done it. Right, here we are. This is what we've done. It says peekaboo, and I've put that little bit of wink of Stella in there so that it matches with the lettering that I've done in the rest of the book. Just a little bit of decoration on there with a white shape and the pink shape that goes with it. That's from some of my dies that we were using earlier, and that opens like so, and then like so, and like so. So you've got these sides, and you actually have the other sides to these parts as well. So that's lots of places to sit little notes or photos or whatever else. And because I didn't want to have to stick magnets in this, so what I've done is I've made it nice and flat. Oh, the hinge, I forgot to mention the hinge. Where I said to you I left a little bit of extra, when I cut off these, on one of them I cut it off about here, instead of right on that on that fold there, and that's made a little hinge which you can almost see there. Obviously you can't see it completely because I've covered it up because I didn't want it seen. But basically I've glued it to the next piece, making a rather nice and tidy hinge, which is then covered up with the lovely backing paper. So I've done that, but I didn't, as I said, I didn't want to put magnets on this, so I've made like a belly band, but it's only a single one this time, and I've put a magnet in here, and I've matched that up, and there is a magnet on the back. Now I've got it in the right place, and I've just stuck it on with a little bit of sellotape so that I can cover that, put that in, and it's all in the right place, and that will open and close as necessary. So let's glue that in then, shall we? Okay, got the glue. Now let's see if I can get this all on here without getting too much onto the desk. I did have to clean my desk again today before starting the video, because I managed to get glue all over it last night. So, oh dear, never mind, me and glue, yeah? Oh, there we go. Just take off. Look, no glue on the desk, but I have in fact got it all over my finger. So I'll just grab my cloth, wipe my finger off. It's, you know, just me and glue, what can I say? Right, here we go. And if you think this is bad, you should see me when I'm using the glue gun. Yeah. Glue everywhere and burnt fingers. So, yeah, not good. So I'm just going to stick this down. Just going to stick this down nicely. Well, I wouldn't stick it any other way really, would I? Than nicely, so it was a silly thing to do, but as we say, firmly. And I don't think I need to put any pegs on there. We might need to put, no actually I will, I'm wrong, I'm going to put some here where my belly band is, because that sticks up a bit further and probably needs just a little bit more help to stick along there. So that's done that, that's nice. And that is done and now part of the book. All ready to move on to the large page. Now I have started on the large page here. This one is different, and I used a die for this one. The die is by a Hunky Dory and is actually called a topper fall die. And I will show you how to use it, although I have prepared this one in advance. Now, it's got your 4 bits of waterfall, absolutely gorgeous, but you've got this little tab here, and if you pull the tab, you can see that your waterfall turns over, and you've got the other side showing. Now, it's just awesome as far as I'm concerned. I've wanted one of these for a long time, and I managed to find one on eBay. Now, let me show you the dies. Here we go. This is the main 2 parts of the die here, and you've got a couple of little bits that you've attached later on. So how do we use this? Well, first of all, we cut this, both of these pieces. I cut it from my 250 GSM white, and I covered this part with a patterned paper, which I used the die to cut out a second one out of the patterned paper, and I've glued it onto there. So once you have your 2 pieces cut out here, you can see these marks on here. Now these don't cut, but they do mark the card, which means that it's a score line. So you fold, fold, fold and fold. That's fold them, basically making a mountain fold on every one of them. Okay. Then, once you've completed that, you can glue this piece. This piece actually glues to there. It overlaps that piece and glues onto this tab here. So you've got a nice connection there. I actually used red liner tape on that because it needs to be fairly solid. You don't want it coming off, okay? Otherwise, when you pull this, instead of pulling these around, it will just come off and it won't look so good at all. Okay, now As I said, this was called the Hunky Dory Topper Full Die, which means it was actually designed for topper decks. These topper decks. And I didn't have any topper decks that were suitable for my baby card. In fact, I've only got the one at the moment. And so what I decided to do was to take a measurement from the toppers and cut out my own card. So I took a measurement and I came up with 2.5 by 3.5 inches. Okay, so it's 2.5 inches that way and 3.5 inches that way. And then I rounded the corners using a corner rounding tool, and that actually worked really well for me. I then cut out of my pretty paper here 4 pieces that were 2.25 by 3.25, rounded the edges, and I glued them on. Now what you have to do now is you have to glue or attach just these pieces here, not all the way across, but just these corners here. So again, I used red liner tape because we don't want it to fall down. Okay, so we've glued this down on both sides with this tab sticking out from underneath there, like so. And the only other thing we've got to do is we've got a couple of extra little bits, dies that we can use. Across here we've got this fancy die here, just decorates it a little bit. So I cut that one out, and then we have these half moon shaped ones, and they go here. I cut 2 of those and I stuck them on there. That just helps to hold the ends of that down and also to cover up the straight edge. And these little guys here, which are very, very useful for other things, not just this. It actually is a reinforcement for the hole, and I've actually stuck that on both sides. So there it is. That's that. And there is our little waterfall, which I absolutely adore. Now, on the other side of this page here, I've found this absolutely beautiful paper with the rocking horses and the butterflies and birds on. And I have decided at the moment that I'm not going to cover it up. I'm just going to leave it like that, and then the recipient can make a choice as to whether they want to leave that in there just as a pretty page, or if they want to stick a photograph on it or whatever. So all that remains is to add this to our book. Okay, so double-sided tape on here, right up against the crease there, just to make sure that it sticks in the right place, and we'll just cut that off there, rescue my cloth from going on the floor, and we add some glue once I've removed the backing, which gives us a little bit of wriggle room and helps to stick down the piece that hasn't got the tape on it. So there we go. That's the tape. Oh, look, what a surprise, I glued my desk. Okay, so now we've got the book here, and I'm going to attach that into there. I think I'll sit the book up a bit and push, oh dear, come on, push that in nice and tightly up against there. Just check that the page, whoops, no, it isn't in the right place, which is why it just fell over. Okay, I think that's nice and level now. So, oh, and it came unstuck. That's not good. So we'll just put that in there. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing, but I've got to put some pressure on it. There we go. So that is now glued into there, and there. Right. So there we go. I think that's enough pages for this book. So next video we shall be cutting this off to put the back cover on, which also will support the spine, because as we've been working on it, you can see here it's got a little bit creased, a few creases in it, and we'll also give a bit more support to the spine. We'll put the back of the book on, and then I will do some embellishments and extras. So I'll work my way through the book with the embellishments and the extras. We'll decide on the closure we want, which we need to decide before we decorate the outer covers on either the outside or the inside, because depending on what sort of closure we want, we may need to do something and cover it up. So there we go. That's today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Bye bye for now. We'll see you soon. Bye.